Programming brought to you by AWI Networks, Smarter Internet.
Thanks for joining St. George News at 8. I'm Scott Beadle. New York police and the FBI are on the scene of a truck attack in Lower Manhattan, and the rampage is now being investigated as an act of terror. At least 8 people have died and more than a dozen are injured. Multiple law enforcement officials say the suspect in custody is 29-year-old Sayfulo Saipov of Tampa, Florida. Maggie Rulli has more.
This was an act of terror, and a particularly cowardly act of terror aimed at innocent civilians.
Emergency vehicles poured into the area near Ground Zero. Police shutting down Manhattan's West Side Highway in the shadow of the World Trade Center #1 building.
I saw a guy in the West Street and Chambers Street corner. He was had 2 guns on him, and he was just running in the street.
Initial reports of a truck plowing into people and shots fired. People scrambling for safety.
I was walking down the road. I see a group. It was 2 women and children. So they're running. I hear one of the young girls say, "He's got a gun. He's got a gun." So at that point, I turn around. But around 30 seconds to a minute after that, I start hearing gunshots. So it was probably around 5 to 10 gunshots, one after another, very fast.
Police say the suspect got out of the vehicle with an imitation firearm and was shot by police officers. He is now in custody.
The driver of the truck, a 29-year-old male, exited the vehicle brandishing 2 handguns. A uniformed police officer assigned to the 1st Precinct confronted the subject and shot him in the abdomen.
Emergency response officials are taking away injured victims on stretchers. Police and the FBI are now investigating.
Authorities have now confirmed this was an act of terror, and they do plan to increase police presence in the area. A 39-year-old man has been arrested accused of sexually abusing a 10-year-old St. George boy. Police say a couple weeks ago, the boy told his mother that Kevin Francis Garvin had touched him inappropriately. Garvin was babysitting when the alleged incident occurred. Police located Garvin on October 27th and brought him in for questioning. Garvin has denied these allegations. He faces 2 charges of aggravated sex abuse of a child. A 44-year-old St. George man is under arrest suspected of abusing an 82-year-old. On Saturday, officers responded to a report of an assault on 400 North. Police say that earlier that morning, James Hiram Paulus allegedly told a woman that he beat the elderly man while she was gone. When the man woke up, the woman confirmed he had been attacked. Police say they found blood evidence from the man's injuries in several rooms of the home. Paulus faces a misdemeanor charge of abuse of a vulnerable adult. The investigation by the special counsel has revealed the first evidence of a member of the Trump campaign attempting to directly reach out to Russians during the 2016 election about potentially damaging information about Hillary Clinton. The guilty plea by an advisor to the campaign for lying to the FBI and the 2 former campaign leaders being indicted on other grounds all comes as executives from Silicon Valley arrive on Capitol Hill. Serena Marshall reports.
A presidential pivot. Mr. Trump tried today to move back to policy.
Mr. President, what's your reaction to George Papadopoulos'
Thank you very much.
plea?
And passed the charges special counsel Robert Mueller levied against his former campaign manager Paul Manafort, his deputy, and the guilty plea by his campaign foreign policy advisor George Papadopoulos. The indictment for tax evasion, money laundering, fraud against Manafort and his deputy Rick Gates came the same morning Papadopoulos' guilty plea was unsealed. He pleaded guilty to lying to the FBI about several interactions with a suspected Russian agent with significant ties to the Russian government. President Trump's personal lawyer responded.
The end result is the meeting doesn't take place. There's no crime of collusion.
And tried to put to rest concerns the president may fire the special counsel.
There is no conversation regarding firing Robert Mueller, and there's no basis to fire Robert Mueller.
The top Republican on the Senate Intelligence Committee not comforted by that promise.
Can't be confident on anything.
As questions of possible collusion swirl on Capitol Hill, Russia's interference front and center, with executives from Facebook, Twitter, and Google facing a congressional panel investigating Russia's social media media ad buys during the election. Facebook revealed those Russian-purchased ads reached more than half of all U.S. Facebook users, 126 million people. That's more than 1 in 3 Americans. Investigators say the sophisticated campaign also included Twitter posts and YouTube videos like this one, an effort to stir up racial tensions and influence the election.
When it comes to the 2016 election, I want to be clear. We take what happened on Facebook very seriously.
And Facebook told senators that in October of 2016, they shut down nearly 6 million fake accounts. But one thing that senators are hoping to get from these hearings, what exactly these tech companies can do to meet national security concerns in the future. Chief Meteorologist Chris Summers has your Southern Utah forecast coming up right after this.
The weather tonight is brought to you by AWI Networks, smarter internet.
And welcome back, everyone. A good Tuesday to you. Happy Halloween. Hope you had a good time out there trick-or-treating tonight. Temperature-wise, we can't complain about 70s in October, late October here in St. George. 76 degrees, our high temperature. Our overnight lows were in the 50s this morning. Normal high this time of year is 71. Our overnight lows are normally about 44. And the record high for this date, 93. Way back in 1915. Take a look at other temperatures across our area today. Yeah, some very pleasant weather. Even Cedar City was a little cooler, but definitely seeing temperatures very nice for this time of year. 62 degrees in Cedar City, 76 over in Hurricane, 66 Enterprise, 76 degrees in Mesquite. Even Las Vegas dropped back in the upper 70s here late this afternoon as well, with a high of 79 in Las Vegas. For your Wednesday, the first day of November, temperature-wise, going to be in the mid-60s. Around Cedar City, lots of sunshine expected. Really very pleasant weather continuing too across much of southern Utah. We'll go for low to mid 70s as we go from Hurricane to St. George, maybe even upper 70s around Mesquite, with again southwest winds at about 5, maybe 10 miles per hour. But it looks like some beautiful weather as we start November. Take a look then at what else we can expect to see the next couple of days. We're really more of the same. Not a lot of change in our forecast. Pleasant weather continuing, lots of sunshine. And we'll keep that pleasant weather going through the rest of the work week and right into the upcoming weekend as well. May actually warm temperatures up a little bit more even warmer than the mid-70s we saw today. May get in the upper 70s, even some low 80s possible as we head into southern Utah through the early courses of early next week and into the weekend. But definitely looking like some very nice weather across our area for the next several days. Here's what it looks like on our surface map. Again, very pleasant weather across our region. Dry weather continuing too, with partly to mostly cloudy skies around. We're even seeing high pressure well off to our west over the Pacific Ocean, but that's really bringing some very quiet weather, some very dry weather to not only our area, but really a good portion of the southern southwestern United States. All the rain has been pushed off to our east, and really not too warm either. We've been seeing temperatures about where they should be, maybe a few degrees above normal, especially around Phoenix, even Los Angeles too, seeing those temperatures right about where they should be, but a little bit warmer as we head through the next couple of days. So as we turn the calendar into November, looks like we'll start to warm those temperatures up just a little bit here over the next several days. Now here's a look at high temperatures for your Wednesday. 64 degrees Enterprise and 65 in Newcastle, 65 degrees in Cedar City. Again, lots of sunshine expected. We'll go for 74 as a high temperature in St. George, 78 degrees Mesquite, and 77 degrees in Littlefield. Now 7-day forecast for Cedar City keeps the low 60s around as we head to Thursday and Friday. We'll go for a high of about 60 on Friday afternoon. By early in the weekend then, we do get a little bit warmer, getting back into the low to mid 60s. Maybe even some upper 50s by Sunday. And yeah, early next week, there are some signs. May get a little bit of rain in the forecast, and that could actually mix in with a little bit of light snow for Cedar City by early next week as well. Still a few days away, something to keep an eye on though for early next week. But St. George and southern Utah looking beautiful. Once again, with low 70s expected across our area into the weekend. And again, a little bit of rain possibly on Sunday with temperatures dropping back into the upper 60s and even mid 60s by early next week. So a little cool down as we get to early next week, but overall, I can't really complain too much about temperatures in the 70s. Normal high 71 this time of year. We're right where we should be for this time of year, which is some good weather across our region.
But a little chance of snow in the higher elevations coming up.
Yeah, exactly. Kind of our first real taste of seeing a little bit of winter precipitation coming into the area, at least for some of the higher elevations. Something to keep an eye on for early next week for sure.
On the way.
That's right.
Thanks, Chris. We'll be back right after this. During the last school year, more than 1,100 homeless families had a child attending a Washington County school. 44% of all students in Washington County do qualify for reduced or free lunches. That issue will be the focus of a presentation by Tan's Treats at this Thursday's luncheon of the Washington County Republican Women. It's scheduled for 11:30 at the Best Western Abbey Inn. Luncheon is open to the public and costs $15 if you'd like to go. You can make a reservation by calling 435-656-4361. Tan's Treats is a local nonprofit that packs weekend bags of foods to make sure the kids have meals on the days that they can't get those lunches at school. Thanks for watching.
We hope you have a great night.